Hey there, lady. My name is Molly Conley, and I'm devoted to helping women reinvent their love lives, whether that's after divorce, dating on and off the apps, or in their committed relationship. Why? Because I've been there. I'm a former college athlete who filed for divorce 3 years into marriage, swam in the online dating pool into my late 30s, and now I am married to the man of my spreadsheet dreams who I met 4 months before the world shut down. As a dating and relationship coach, I help my clients shift the focus from being obsessed with finding Mr. Right to shifting to herself as Miss Right Now. We build a foundation filled with clarity, connection, and confidence, knowing she is worth waiting for. Each week on the podcast, I'll bring you love life insights and savvy guests, where you will receive the courage to release programmed limiting beliefs. Discover patterns and behaviors restricting you from finding and attracting quality men, and ways to choose yourself first so you can build a foundation for a healthy relationship with yourself and a partner. Earlier this week, I started my coaching scholarships. If you know me, I started my business back in March of 2020, and I wanted to do something to celebrate while living one of my core values of making a difference. So I announced 5 openings for my coaching package with 4 one-on-one sessions. That includes a 90-minute foundation and then 3 one-hour sessions. Oh, and I had a surprise for the ladies. Some of them are starting next week, Tuesday, when this podcast drops. They will receive an extra bonus session if they would like to create a plan for themselves after our 4 sessions are up. With that said, I had more calls than normal last week, and something really stood out to me with my current clients and the scholarship ladies. Something that reminded me of when I was in their shoes. And honestly, it made me a bit pissed off for them. Being told that they are too much, being told that in past relationships that they aren't enough, or even the passive aggressive nature of, if you really loved me, you would say or do or need this from their current partner. I was almost ready to show like my mama bear side. Um, Even with my clients who are, like could be my older sisters. So instead, I moved to my hype woman mode. And this is what we're going to chat about today. My ladies who I'm talking about are part of a group of people that is highly unique. And maybe you're one of them. You don't settle, you're resilient in the face of change, and you have your eyes on the prize and you go for it. And unlike many others, you achieve it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just go after it. And whatever it is, what did it take for you to get there? It meant developing new skills. It meant doing the research or taking courses to get where you wanted to go. It meant asking for a promotion. It meant asking for a difficult project. So what happened? You received the promotion. You received the bonus. You received the recognition that you were desiring along with accomplishing your goal. As a high achiever, you're a different type of woman. You don't understand how people can just settle for sitting at a job that they hate from 9 to 5. You don't understand how people don't have goals in life. You don't understand how people can go through the world aimlessly wandering around and not caring or knowing what might come next. This is why you're more likely to be the woman who invests in herself, because deep down she believes in her dreams and she knows what she deserves. You are the woman who sees the finish line, but sometimes in your love life, you just don't know how to get there. All of this is because you're different, and why you have to do things differently in order to achieve the relationship that you know you desire and deserve. Because you're not willing to settle, you're not willing to lower your standards, and you're tired of being told that you're too picky. Guess what? I don't think you're too picky. I think you're a woman who's looking for a man not only to match at her level, but is willing to grab her hand and take her in a whole new direction. Because not only do you want adventure, but you want love. And people aren't going to understand. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, you probably already heard this question, and a lot of us have. Why are you still single? And honestly, you don't know. Well, I know why you could be single. Because you're a catch and you've been settling for dates and men who don't realize that you are. They think you're either too much or not enough. But now it's your turn. It's time to change the narrative. You are not the one to be caught. You're the one who's going to be reeling them in. How? By doing the real work, by doing the work within, the self love, the self care, removing the inner blocks, the ones that you might not even see that's keeping you playing small and settling for men that don't deserve you. And once again, people aren't going to understand. They aren't going to understand why you're investing in yourself so you can find true love. Or if they do, they're not going to say anything, or that you're still too picky and that you're still too much for someone. But I'm going to say this, let them not understand. People don't need to understand because they're not riding the same wave to where you're going. When I finally started dating after my divorce, I listened to other people. I would go out on a date after date after date after date. And I think even one summer, I went on at least 30 dates. And instead of finding true love, I found frustration. I was so frustrated and bitter with the dating scene. I was so frustrated and bitter about the advice that I was receiving from friends and family. I was so frustrated and bitter that I was in my late 30s without someone to love and love me in return. I was frustrated and bitter at the friends and family members who kept asking, "Why are you still single?" I was frustrated and bitter at the friends that never included me because I didn't have a husband to bring along or a child to have a play date with. So what did I do? I made up my own fucking rules. It was time for me to do the inner work. It was time for me to stand up and voice that these are my standards. This is what I want, and I'm not willing to settle for anything less. And I didn't care what my friends and family thought because at the end of the day, it's my happiness over theirs. I was done with the people pleasing. I was done trying to be perfect. I was ready to achieve my dreams with or without my friends and family by my side. I went all in for me. And guess what? I found my husband 2 years later. And guess what? I had a list of 63 things that I deeply desired and wanted out of a husband and a relationship based off of all the crap I had learned from my previous years of being married and all those frustrating dating moments. And guess what? Again, my husband meets 61 of those things. He is my unicorn. I never would have thought he existed, but I held out hope, analyzed what my standards were, and even asked if they were real standards. This and so much more inner work. I was willing to do the things that people were not wanting to do. I was ready to confront all areas of my life where I was hiding and playing small, where I was limiting myself based off of other people's beliefs and not my own. I was already done with therapy. I had already read all the self-help books that I had been interested in. I had to put in the work, the real work to find love that was meant for me and not other people. And I wasn't going to sit here and play the bachelor and bachelorette bullshit game. I wasn't going to just accept any date. I just wasn't going to say, "Oh, yeah, here's my phone number. Call me." Sounds egotistical, maybe, but I'm not a woman who's willing to give up my time, my number, just for any man. And as an ambitious woman like yourself, who is also successful, I guarantee that your plate is already full. Why would you even bother to put yourself on the line for any man? For any friend who sets you up with someone she thinks you'd be a good fit when you really don't know? I wasn't going to fill my spare time with random dates. No, I was filling my spare time with my own self discovery, inner work, and self love. Because deep down, I knew that the person who I needed to love me, for me first, was myself. Why? Honestly, so that no man could ever tell me, ever again, that I was too much or not enough. because that was their limiting belief. That was their opinion. And I didn't need that to go with me to the next level. I didn't need them or their comments dragging me down to their level of what they believed relationships and love looked like. I wasn't ready to settle, but guess what? They were, and good for them. They can stay there if that's where they want to be. But I only work with women who aren't willing to settle and wanting to do the real work, knowing that love is out there for them. They're done trying to be quote unquote better for men. They're done being set up with shitty dates. They're done settling for a man because, let's say, he's got a house and he's got a dog, so he must be good enough to go out and meet for a first date. No, none of that. You deserve better and you deserve more. For example, try this. Write down what you have worked for, what you have accomplished, and what you've put maybe even on your resume. The man that you want to be with better match it or be close to it. Because if he's not a high achiever like you are, you're going to constantly be dissatisfied. Not going to lie here. Every time I dated a man who had zero drive, was all talk and no action, it led me to be the fixer all over again, trying to help them see the light of how good they really could be or to see their true potential. You know what? Potentially there was a problem, and it was an inner problem with myself, thinking that I was going to be their savior, that I was going to be the hero, when the only person that really needed saving was myself. Saving myself from trying to fix others that weren't willing to do the work on themselves, by themselves first, to make them emotionally intelligent, making them emotionally available for the type of relationship and love I knew I deserve and my clients deserve as well. When women work with me, I don't tell them this is the only way to do something. There is no cookie cutter way for you to find the man of your dreams, but I'm willing to show you what I did to get to where I'm at today. I'm willing to help you figure it out, and I'm more than ready to be your co-pilot on this journey of love that you've been wanting and desiring. I am here to be your accountability partner, to support you when times get tough and celebrate you every single moment along the way. But know that there's always a deep down sense of self-doubt that we're going to have to push through until you are so confident because you have taken the actions and you've led with curiosity and courage, knowing that there is someone out there for you. They might not be here right now, and that's okay, because the time you and I spend together is all about working on you. And in order to do this, you need to have love for yourself, knowing that it is possible for you. You need to believe in yourself that you can find love, just like you've believed in yourself in other difficult times in your life. Because I know that there's challenges that you've been through, and I know there's challenges where you've been defeated. But I also know there's challenges that you've won. Each of those challenges helped you learn lessons of to do things different the next time. The problem with finding love is that most of the time you either let emotions get in the way or you shove them down with different coping mechanisms. And you usually don't have someone by your side showing you it's possible and working with you consistently to help you create your own path, your own journey to finding deep and inner love for yourself. So that whoever wants to walk on that path with you is more than willing to do so. And then he is more than willing to make that path with you together. You need to have the self-love to stop caring about what other people think. You need to have the self-love to stop comparing yourself to others because you're different, and that is a good thing. You need self-love so you can build that intuition, that feeling in your gut, so that you have self-trust and self-confidence there when you need it. You need to have the self-love to put yourself first, regardless of what other people think or say or demand from you. You only have one life to live, and the only one in your life that can make you happy is you. No one else can control your emotions but yourself. So if you aren't feeling happy now, there are ways to change it, and you are in control of your happiness. My question for you is, do you love yourself enough to put yourself first? To have the courage and curiosity to find the love that you know you deserve. What are you willing to sacrifice or to do to get it? You willing to sacrifice your time? Is it deleting all the apps? Is it telling your friends no more blind dates? Is it telling your parents, I'm done telling you about my love life? Is it telling your friends that you want to have a girls' night out and you can leave your husbands and children at home? Don't let other people's opinions hold you back from the love that you deserve. Let them play small. Come play big with me. When you know who you are at your core, when you know what you stand for, no one can make you play small. No one can tell you that you're not enough. No one can tell you that you're too much because you already know your worth and you know what you deserve. My purpose is to help ambitious women who are tired of hearing that they're too much or not enough, squash other people's opinions about themselves, to put away perfectionism, to drop the people pleasing so that they can put themselves first, to develop the inner love that it takes to find and attract the man that they want. Because it is possible. I am proof of that. Will this take work? Yes. Will this push you out of your comfort zone and make you feel uncomfortable? Yes. Whenever we try something new, it's always uncomfortable. And with being a high achiever, it's even more uncomfortable because we want to get it right the first time. And I'm here to tell you, you won't get it right the first time, and that's okay. Will this be hard? It can be. I would personally expect it to be because you've been doing something a certain way. Even if you knew this is not what you should be doing, but you're doing it anyways. You are doing it because you want to stay comfortable. But the only way for real growth and real love is to learn how to be vulnerable by doing the inner work for yourself first, so that when it comes for you to be vulnerable in a relationship, you already have the solid ground or you know where you stand. Is it difficult to look inward? Yeah, it can be, especially if you've been looking outward, looking out from yourself to get satisfaction, to get validation, and to be accepted for who you are. What do I mean by that? When you break up with someone or they broke up with you, how long do you wait before the next person? Before, you go back on the dating app. If you jump back on and if you find someone to date within a few months or gosh, even a few weeks, you're looking outward. You aren't willing to accept the uncomfortableness of your feelings and process them. That is one example of looking outward. Are you dating someone just because your friends or your parents say that he's a good man? You're looking outward for approval and validation that you're on the right path that others want you to be on. But what about what you want? And when I say these things, if you're starting to feel anxious and maybe cringe and be like, oh my God, Molly, I can't do that, that's fine. I understand. But if you keep playing safe, if you keep doing things the way that you always have been doing, then you're going to have the same result every single time. You're going to attract a different man with the same motherfucking problems. You're going to attract the same man with the same relationship issues. You're going to attract the same job, the same manager, and same issues at work that you currently have, even if you leave your job for a new one. Until you solve the inner problems within you, until you do the inner work, your problems are going to follow you. Like the cat that's annoying you from hell at your friend's house. All that it wants to do is snuggle with you, but you're a dog person. Your problems follow you until you can do the inner work and say, no, I do not want this anymore. I know what I want and I'm going after it. You cannot come with me. It is not hard to choose yourself. But you know what is hard? Is challenging the beliefs, the people pleasing tendencies, the self sabotaging, the fears, the ideas of perfectionism, and the people in your life that are telling you that you are doing it wrong. Those are all the areas I had to challenge myself and that my clients have to challenge in areas that they want to work on. But when you are open and deeply desire something different than you currently are doing and currently have, you can take your own steps to get closer to the dream of what you want and desire deep down. You are worthy of love and you are capable of finding love. You were not put on this earth to be an unhappy person, to go through trials and tribulations without having some sort of lesson being learned from it so that you can better your situation or improve your relationship. So let's get honest here, real quick. What is the worst thing? The worst thing that could happen if you put yourself first? When you start to question what's limiting you, when you start to think, are these my beliefs or were these put on upon me by society, my friends, my family and education? When we start to challenge these things, there's a moment where we fear the worst thing that could happen is that you go back to where you are right now. And if you already don't like where you are, you don't have to stay there. Once again, you are not a tree. You can pick up and leave. You can pick up your life and make it the life that you want by making changes one step at a time. Let me tell you, the first step is not waiting until you feel confident, because you'll never get there. The first step is taking action. And if you're an athlete or former athlete, I know you're going to understand this. As a former swimmer, when I was younger, my coach would throw me in all the events. Like, this was summer league. And I just mean the 25-yard swims because I was 10 and under. I loved breaststroke. I loved freestyle, but I hated butterfly and backstroke. So I would do whatever it took for me to be good enough to be placed in breaststroke and freestyle events. But when other people love those events as well, my college coach would put me in other events, like the 200 fly. Not going to lie to you, I never swam that event. Even as a college senior, I thought I was going to die. Why? Not only because I never swam it, not only because I hated butterfly, but I was fighting perfectionism, the fear of failure, the fear of being laughed at, not only by my teammates, not only from the opposite team, but family and friends that might be sitting in the stands. And until this day, I have never told that to anyone. But that's what I was afraid of, that I was going to let my team down and I was going to look like a freaking idiot. So what did I do? Not going to lie, I didn't listen to my coach. I made my own decision that I was going to breathe as much as I wanted. So as long as I could finish the event legally. And I think I almost did breathe almost every single stroke. I'm trying to remember. I maybe I did. And that's okay. Why? Because I'm here right now. Because I did finish. And I didn't even finish in last place, if I remember correctly. There was this freshman on our team that year who was really good at butterfly. She set the record in our 200 fly on our team that year. She told me that I did a great job. And I was in shock because I had no idea. I had no idea that I had a good time. I don't even remember what it is. But because I took the action and was like, okay, here's my game plan of what I'm going to do, and I made it my own, it was easier for me to achieve it because I then took the action. So when you're presented with an opportunity to make a change for yourself in your life that's going to set you on the course for what you want, you either say yes to a small step or you stay where you are. And as soon as you start taking action, it makes the next step after that even easier. Not only because you learn from that first step, but now you're starting to gain momentum. Because before, you were at a standstill. So remember, you need to take a step that other people are unwilling to take. Your friends, your family members, all the ones that are telling you, no, date this person or don't date that person. You cannot take advice from people that are living a life that you don't want. If they are unhappy in their relationship, they're only going to share what supposedly has worked for them or not. But guess what? Once again, guess what? You're not them. You're looking for a legit, deep connection to a man who is willing to have a deep connection with you. You are looking for a man who is not only going to love you for who you are, he's going to believe that teamwork makes the dream work. What is that? That's a relationship where you're side by side holding hands. And when either of you needs to lead, the other will follow because each of you have unique strengths and abilities in other areas of your life that complement each other, but it still gets the job done. If you want a man to lead your life forever, I am not the coach for you. If you're looking to dominate your man, I am not your coach for you. I'm here to be a coach for ambitious, achieving women who want a successful relationship, whatever success looks like to her, where she believes that there is a man out there that wants the same sort of woman, one at his level. When you do this, you're no longer going to have to deal with what I call the power struggles, and instead you're going to have a power play. As a couple, you believe that teamwork makes the dream work. Prioritizing and investing in ourselves is one of the only ways to get there and find love, the one that you truly desire and deserve. You need to do the things, once again, that people are unwilling to do because at the end of the day, it's going to be you. You are going to be the one who no longer has to deal with relationship drama. How lovely does that sound? You're going to be the one who no longer talks bad about their boyfriend or their husband. You're going to be the woman that is going to lead by example of what real love and connection looks like. How do I know? Because I am her. That's also the reason why you're going to have the most extraordinary love life, the life that you dreamed of, where you aren't having to sacrifice yourself to be something or someone you're not for someone else, just because you want to make them happy, because you just have to be perfect for them. Because you're going to be the one who is in a compatible, loving, and healthy relationship because you are ready to have a healthy relationship with yourself. You know what you want, you know what you deserve, and you're not willing to settle for less. Like I said, you do not settle. You can wait. You can be patient because that is what's going to help you find the real man out there for you. Do not rush. Don't let society tell you that you're running out of time. Do not let your friends or your family make you feel like you're not enough because you don't have a man. You do you right now, because when it comes down to it, the only person in your life that you have to make happy is you. And when you are happy and you find a man who actually complements you and your life, your ambitions, your goals, and supports you for you, he will also be happy. He will also enjoy and love your ambitious self. He will also support you in times of need because he knows that you support him when he needs you. Now, if you rush into a relationship where you don't know when the shit hits a fan, if he's going to be there for you, you'll constantly be searching and bending over backwards to try to find ways to make it work, or to try to fix the relationship, or fix him, or even fix yourself to make him happy. And that is a miserable way to live. I left my ex husband because I was so tired of being told that this is what marriage was supposed to be like. I didn't really believe that shit for 1 minute. I knew I was made for a greater love, and I was willing to sacrifice so much to get there. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do to invest in yourself? What is the first step that you're going to take so you can put yourself first to challenge what you already know? So go out there today and do one thing that other people are not willing to do so that you can find long lasting, compatible love because all it takes is one step in front of the other to get momentum going and, to be on your path of finding the man that's meant for you. Now, one last thing before I stop this podcast episode today. Sometimes when we take these first few steps, we don't see success. We don't get the message back from the guy. We do our profile online over and over again because we're not making connections, or we get, laughter from our friends and family after sharing a horrible date. Or maybe we even get like side eye glances from other people when we tell them about our ambitious relationship goals. Understand this: these people do not know themselves deep down enough to allow you to shine as yourself because they are projecting their limiting beliefs, their assumptions, their interpretations about what love is and what relationships are onto you. Do not let them project their fears and their ways of self sabotaging themselves onto you. You don't have to rebuttal against them. You don't have to do anything except for not letting that take over your momentum and give you fear or doubt that this is really going to work for you. Once again, I am living proof that this is possible. I just don't want it to take 8 years for you to find the man that you freaking want to spend the rest of your life with, like it did for me. I don't want you to have to live through the same bullshit, the same mistakes, the same dates, the same friendships, to be constantly let down and feel bitter and resentful. I don't want that for you. But I would never go back in time and show my younger self what to do. Because if I did that, I wouldn't be here right now and helping women find the love that they deeply deserve. So, whatever you do, if you can take just one step, it would be this: just believe in yourself for one moment that you were meant for a better relationship. Not only with fully knowing yourself and loving yourself for who you are, but knowing that there's a man out there that when you are vulnerable and show that side of you, he's going to be elated and excited to spend his life with you as well. Okay, lady, I really hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I let my inner hype woman come out and showed moments that I just really hope hit with you. If you would, please let me know what you thought by either sending me a message or leaving a rating or review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So go out there, take that first step, believe in yourself because I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know there's a man out there for you. Until next time, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.